Gigabyte Grizzly Brohema, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. If I see you without one, I'm gonna kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
Welcome to the Thursday night weekly Fight Council meeting. I am not Paul Atlas. I am instead the big deal Dash Bennett, and I'm your host tonight for the Fight Council meeting. And yes, I hear the sighs in the background.
Did you hear
already.
that sound?
Let's introduce.
No, that sound was
the
the
Fight
sound
Council
of everybody clicking the back button and getting off this show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stacy Hunter, who did such a terrible job hosting last week that I'm going to get way bigger numbers than her this week. Stacy, welcome to the show tonight.
Way bigger numbers. What are you, Donald Trump or something? Please. Everybody just clicked off of the show because they used to you were the host. Just sit there.
That's okay.
Up and let's do the talking, please.
It still counts as the view count. Also joining me is a fellow Fight Council member, as much as I hate to introduce this guy, one bad Bubba Brewer. Bubba, welcome to the show.
Oh, well, thank you, your hostess with the mostest. I'd like to know how this even happened tonight? Because I know you're probably going to shut me off. You're going to control the whole thing. And
next joining us, We have another Fight Council member, Mr. Robert Parker Williams himself, RPW. Welcome to the Fight Council meeting.
It's like Baghdad, Iraq in here. Great to be here. Looking forward to yet another installment of the Fight Council.
And last but not least, we have a special guest joining us tonight, a member of the Fight Council roster, the Fight Underground roster, and the winner of Area 1. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Rev, Ron Hunt.
It is such an honor to be joining you guys. I don't quite know about yourself. You know, as always, you know, you're like the redheaded stepchild I never wanted, but it nonetheless is good to be with the rest of you guys.
Thank you.
And before we get into tonight's topics, I just want to lay down the law. Since I am hosting, I'm the one that has the power tonight, the power to mute and the power to boot. So I expect everyone to stay in line. Got it? Without further ado,
me?
You heard me. I have the power to mute and the power to boot. So if you want to stay on this council call tonight, you'll fall in line.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Paul.
Without further ado, let us discuss the week that was. This week, we had an opportunity to witness from the Area 2 semifinals, a matchup between the Beastman and the Gavel, David Lawless. RPW, I would like to start with you. I'd like to get your thoughts on this match and the Beastman pulling out the victory over David Lawless.
Last week I was singing the praises of David Lawless, and he shut me up because I really was pulling for him. I thought maybe he'd have the Beastman's number, but that went completely opposite of what I thought. So kudos to Beastman. I'm kind of excited to see where he's going to go from here, and looking forward to the next matchup for the Beastman.
All right. Bubba Brewer, your thoughts on this matchup, Beastman versus David Lawless?
Well, how long are you going to give me? You're going to give me 15 seconds or you're going to give me 25? Depends on what I'm going to say right now. I just want to know.
Just talk and we'll see how long I give you.
Thank you, host. I took David Lawless. I thought he was going to be more a thinking man's wrestler. He almost had him when he tried to take out his leg, and it didn't even work. Like the Beastman was unfazed. So I still wanted to take Lawless, and I'm going to not go back on that. But the Beastman he took everything Lawless had, and he's pretty much now unstoppable going into Area 2 finals. So we'll see. Thank you for keeping me on, host. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome, Bubba. Stacy, your thoughts on this matchup, Beastman and David Lawless. What were you impressed? What did you think of it?
I was very impressed with the match. I really thought David Lawless was going to be able to pull it off. The Beastman is just out of control. I don't think there's anyone in the organization that can control him. He's going to end up doing something to hurt somebody, and it was just ridiculous the way he acts.
Yeah, I think I share the same sentiment as everyone else. I think we all thought that David Lawless was going to be able to outsmart the Beastman and come away with a victory. And I certainly thought that he had a solid plan going into it, but Beastman hit that Huskbuster out of nowhere. There was just no way for David Lawless to combat it. And I think we were all kind of surprised that he just dominated in such fashion. Rev, I'd like to get your thoughts. I believe you were there watching this, scouting this match intently as the winner of Area 1, looking at some possible future opponents. What did you think of this matchup, and were you impressed with either of these men?
Yeah, I think it's one of the things. I'm always impressed with everything that comes to the Fight Underground, and especially with Area 2. I stated right after Area 1 that the work was just beginning, and Bubba and I talked about this, and being the coach and the one scouting for me to join the team, and it was everything that I thought it was plus more. Knowing the caliber of athlete a monster like Beastman is, but at the same time knowing a person that knows how to be flexible and have endurance and a duration like David Lawless. So it was everything that I expected it to be. However, I think my thing now is where exactly do we go from here? And, I think that's one thing that Stacey said is I don't even know if you can call him a person, but an entity like Beastman. It's very unpredictable. That is a very unique, unorthodox athlete. And, you know, taking nothing away from David Lawless, but when you look at it, you know, it always comes down to just 3 seconds is all you need. A lot of times, maybe less than that. So I think right now it's just a matter of seeing where Beastman goes from here, seeing where the rest of Area 2 goes from here. But I tell you, I was impressed. I was impressed. And, you know, giving credit to both guys. And I think, you know, we're in for a treat for, you know, to see where it goes from.
I agree, and I think we're all going to be looking at Beastman a lot differently heading into the finals than maybe we were the semifinals. So definitely, you know, some interesting. Well, we'll get to that. Stacy, I'd like to, if I can, follow up on last week where you had your roster member Tatiana Rose on as a guest, and she had some words for you, or some words about you. She wasn't necessarily happy with her mentorship, with her coaching. You know, I just kind of want to get your thoughts of, you know, maybe where this is coming from. Is it justified, and what are you doing to kind of smooth things over with her?
No, I'm not upset or anything. I totally understand where she's coming from. I've obviously been focused on the men because of, you know, Area 2. And I mean, we're working things out. And like I said, Area 3, we're going to get to see the women a little bit, and I'll be able to mentor her a little bit more. So it's going to work out. Don't worry.
So you did work it out, because last week was a little bumpy ride, Stace. I'm not trying to start nothing again. But...
Working.
Okay.
So work in progress.
Okay.
Yes, everything is a work in progress.
Well, another development that came out of last week was her throwing down a challenge. Scarlett was in the chat sort of egging her on, and I see Scarlett in the chat again tonight. So I'm sure Scarlett will have some words. But Tatiana issued a challenge for Area 3, wanting to step in the ring with Scarlett. I'm kind of curious, and I want to get thoughts from the rest of the council on what, you know, what do you think about this potential matchup? You know, is Tatiana, you know, does she have more guts than brains? Just knowing that Scarlett is more experienced, has the size advantage, or is she maybe just trying to do anything she can to get noticed and get an opportunity in Fight Underground? RPW, I'm going to start with you. What do you think of this challenge that was laid out?
You know what? I was impressed with Tatiana last week. I wanted to see a mean streak from her. I wanted to see her come out of her shell a little bit and prove why she was picked for the Fight Underground. So I'm intrigued by it. I think, you know, the little engine that could overcome and take down Scarlett.
Okay, Baba, I'm going to ask you same question. What do you think of this challenge that was laid out, and what does it mean for potentially Area 3?
Well, I give her a lot of credit, but I think she bumped her head last week. She's going for all of it. She's going to put herself out there, which I understand. That's what you got to do in Fight Underground. You have to do that. So, but her wanting to go against Scarlett is probably not the smartest thing to do right now. I mean, I love her tenacity. I loved her fight. Like now we tried, and we have seen her now with her all fires going on. All cylinders are going. So, but guys and girls, she's just gonna overstep, and I think Scarlett is gonna eat her up. Too much, dear, too much. And maybe I pissed her off, and maybe she just did that challenge because I was challenging her last week. So maybe that I had a little bit to do with it.
Well, I don't think it was necessarily a mistake. This is just kind of my opinion, but you know, first of all, you know, seeing that fire out of her, we've seen, and I'll give Brohemoth as a great example. When Sean Resnick got involved with him at the Area 1 semifinals, it lit a fire under him, and we saw a completely different Brohemoth. So lighting a fire under Tatiana Rose might just be what we need to see out of her for her to take it to the next level. As far as her issuing that challenge, in my opinion, sometimes you have to make your own opportunities. I know from personal experience, you can't just wait for them to be offered. And if Scarlett is her opportunity, regardless of whether she's outmatched or outclassed, I think that she's wise to take it on.
But what better way to make your opportunity and show that you can do this, that you have what it takes? Kudos to her for doing that. It takes guts.
There's a famous quote: "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. Rev, I'd like to get your thoughts on this. You're obviously familiar with both of these women. Is this a match that you're interested to see? And what is your take on that potential lineup?
Yeah, I think, when looking at that division, and I still feel that there's a lot of untapped potential within the Vargo division. And one of the things that caught my eye, even back within our very first day of Area 1, was seeing Scarlett up against Big Bang Ronnie Nicole, and seeing just how fresh she is in this business, but yet at the same time still holding her own. Now, when you look at someone also like Tatiana Rose, where, just as you said, you have to have whatever that opportunity is, you have to take it. If you don't, you're always going to say, what if? But if you do, what's the worst that can happen? She puts it forward, and sometimes when you make those audacious tries, those are when the big prizes come. So I agree. If I was her, I would have done the same exact thing. Even now, today, I'm not where I want to be, but I still look at ways of how can I make that risk? How can I take things to the next level? How can I place myself to give myself an opportunity at a prize selection? And when you look at Fight Underground, no matter if it's our Alphas division, no matter if it's our Vargo division, you have to look at how can I make my name and make the biggest impact I can right now. Tomorrow's not promised. You have to do what you have to do right now. So, within that, I feel like when it comes down to this, I believe, and hopefully, Tatiana, if you're listening, if you're not in this mindset, please get in this mindset. Scarlett is no one to be messed with. I don't care if you're a male or female. She is no one to be messed with. When you come into the ring, you have to be in the mindset of kill or be killed, eat or be eaten. So I feel as long as she can come in that mindset, she could have a very good opportunity to make a big upset.
It's a great analysis. And I did mention Tatiana trying to make her own opportunity, but I mean, as we've seen Scarlett in the chat tonight and in the chat last week, maybe it was Scarlett trying to make her opportunity, seeing Tatiana Rose as an opportunity for her to get into Area 3.
Yeah, I think, one of the things when you look at it is how exactly can we do what we have to do? And I think, one thing that I feel is very unique about what we have at Fight Underground is, Paul stated, every single time, Quinn stated every single time, no one's spot is secure. Even right now with me being the winner of Area 1, I know, guess what? There are multiple other areas to come. So even my overall spot is not secure. No one is safe here at Fight Underground. So I feel like at any given time, there may be an underdog. I think when you look at the tell of the tape, but still at the end of the day, everyone has a fair opportunity. And what are you going to do with that is how you can capitalize. You can either come in with your mind not made up and your opportunity can be lost like that, or you can step up to the plate, meet the occasion, meet the challenge, and then be taking your career to the next level. And so I feel like, when we all look at that and, a lot of things in this pro wrestling business and RP, you can talk about this as well, is you have to be in this mindset of, job security is not promised in professional wrestling. And I think when you look at it as if it could be gone like tomorrow, I feel like you will always have that hunger in you of how can I get the job done by any means necessary, no matter what adversity. So I feel like this is going to be a very even match in some ways, and it might be one-sided in some ways. But, I think that's the beauty of our sport.
And just like you said earlier, too, it takes 3 seconds to win a match.
Yeah.
Well, we're all talking about a match that right now is just a thought. It's just is not even set in stone. So, Stacey, I'm going to throw the $1 million question to you: is what are you doing to make this match happen? Do you want this match to happen? And what have you been doing in the last week as far as Paul Atlas goes in getting this match secure for Area 3? Stacy, you're on mute.
She was saying you smell like a horse's behind.
Well, she looks like a horse's behind.
Ha ha ha.
Actually, that would be a compliment to a horse's behind.
You done, Dash?
I hope
I asked
so.
you a question. I'm waiting for your answer.
Okay, I was just waiting for you to stop talking. Okay. I have talked to Paul Atlas, and he said to give him a week. So next week, hopefully Paul will be back on, and he will give us an answer on Tatiana and Scarlett. Now, speaking of that match, I'm going to give my 2 cents. I have the ability to teach Tatiana to not be afraid of her, because you've known the guys that I've gone up against in the amount of the organizations that I've worked in over the years. I don't want to say any names, but I've had no fear. I fought the men, I fought the women, just like Scarlett, so I can teach that to Tatiana.
But didn't she want to go against Charlie Cruel? So she's just hurdling Charlie Cruel, going right to Scarlett. So if it doesn't work out in her benefit, she didn't even climb a little bit. She will be totally taken out of the Fight Underground female roster with that one loss if she does lose. So how are you gonna do that, Coach?
I don't think she's going to lose. Even with Annabelle being there at ringside, I think that Tatiana is going to show enough fire and be able to pull it off and get through and get to Scarlett.
Well, that's a great point,
Are
Ray.
you going to be ringside
She was
with her?
Stacy.
Sorry.
Well, that's a great point raised. Is she wasn't even focused on Scarlett. She threw a challenge out to Scarlett, but really she was trying to challenge Charlie Cruel. So, is she just trying to get any opportunity? Is she like Bubba, trying to take anything she can get? Oh, can you join my team? I'll take you on my team.
Oh, that's not the case. That's not the case, sir. I don't try to get anything I can get. I'm an opportunist if I have to see it. I have to get a female on our team, Dash. I don't have one, so I don't have anything going in Area 3. Now the Rev, he's hungry because Area 1, he's the winner. So I love his focus and I love his determination. But Team Bubba doesn't have a female in the roster to go to Area 3, so I have to get something.
Hey,
Dash,
Bubba,
I'm not going down there.
Coach Bubba, you don't have to explain anything. You don't have to explain anything to Dash. We know that Dash likes poking the bear. We all know that this is a game of chess and not checkers. And at the end of the day, listen, I have faith in Bubba's process. I know we're going to be in good hands at the end of the day. That's all I have to say about our team.
On the flip side, let's play devil's advocate for a minute. Do you think Tatiana bit a little bit more off than she can chew?
Yes, he did.
Well, again, I think she's just looking for any opportunity. I mean, she's been active in the business for 2 years now, and she's had less matches than I can count on a single hand. So, win or lose, I think she just wants to get herself out there, and she's going to take any opportunity that she can, right or wrong. That's, I think, what her MO is. Now, is Stacy the one to make that happen for her? We'll find out.
Bubba, has she reached out to you?
No, not yet, but I think she might though. But if Stacy doesn't, Stace, if this match, hold up, Stace, please. I'm not Dash. You don't have to yell at me. Now this match
I'm
goes
sorry,
down.
Bubba, I wasn't gonna get you.
Thank you. If this match goes down, are you going to manage her very closely in this match against Scarlett? Are you going to be down there at ringside?
Well, first of all, I want to say that if I could make Dash Bennett a champion, I can do wonders for Tatiana as well. And yeah, it is very likely that I might put the boots back on and be at ringside with Tatiana just to get up and personal. Because I can tell you right now, I have no fear. I am not afraid of Scarlett.
Oh, Jesus. We're not starting another match, are we?
Well, so Scarlett's in the chat.
No, we're not starting another match.
No, Scarlett's been in the chat. She's been very active and vocal, and I want to hear her response to that. Scarlett, if you're listening, what do you think about that from Stacy Hunter?
Well, watch out so she doesn't
I'm
bring
a-
any
I'm
kendo
I'm a
sticks.
managed wrestler. Oh.
You mean the ones with razor blades?
Maybe.
So while we're talking about the Virago's division, I'd like to take a second to talk about the Big Bang, Ronnie Nicole, who is going to be a guest on the Indie Mayhem show this Friday evening at 10 p.m., right after Friday Night SmackDown. That interview will be available on the IndieWrestling.us Facebook page, and she will be there talking about Fight Underground and giving her thoughts on what's to come for Area 3. That is IndieWrestling.us. And it's the Big Bang, Ronnie Nicole on the Indie Mayhem show.
And I bet you she goes off because I guarantee she's probably not happy sitting on the sidelines this long. She's going to tell everybody to go get bent. I'm telling you. That match with her and Scarlett was just brutal.
It's nice to see that she's doing the show. I'm still waiting for her to respond to my emails.
Well, Ronnie Nicole has been a guest on Fight Underground's programming a few times, and she's an absolute treat to listen to. I will definitely be checking that out for sure because she's just a great talker, and I think that she'll have a lot interesting to say. Scarlett has responded. Stacy, you want to read those comments? I don't know if I can say that on air. But she doesn't seem afraid of you.
Ooh. Oh, no.
Okay, whatever.
Oh, so that could be another match. Yeah, I'm trying to be a
let's
matchmaker.
poke the bear
No,
a little.
No,
Stacey,
well,
you talked about getting the boots back.
I am a manager, not a wrestler. No, my
Yeah, you never were a
managing
wrestler.
booth, not my wrestling booth. Yeah,
You
no,
didn't
I
you didn't
suck at
clarify
the
that
wrestler.
earlier.
I know that.
Oh,
managing,
she's gonna
but
put the
managing-
stilettos on.
No.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I
whore
get it now.
boots.
I get it. Yes. Okay. All right.
All right. Well, we've had fun tonight, but now it's time to get a little more serious and talk about what's to come next week. Next week, we're finally here. We've seen Beastman versus David Lawless. We've seen John Roden versus Mike Law. And we are now going to be at the Area 2 finals. The biggest of stakes when we see Beastman versus John Roden. The Rev, I'd like to start with you because as the Area 1 winner, you're going to be facing one of these men for a potential opportunity at the Fight Underground Alpha King Championship. So I'd like to, it's going to be a silly question of me to ask, who would you rather face? Because I know your answer is going to be, you'll take on anyone, anywhere. But I'd like you to analyze maybe each of them as opponents. What a match against John Roden would look like for the Rev, what a match against the Beastman would look like for the Rev, and ultimately who you think is going to come out victorious out of this final match.
Yeah, well, I think when looking at it, going into this, I believe I know each one of them very, very well. I mean, being able to wrestle Beastman on numerous occasions, more than I can count, and, throughout these past about 5 or 6 years of me coming back to Pittsburgh, Beastman is the type of guy that don't let the size fool you. He is very agile for his size. He's agile in general. He is quick for his size. So when you add the quickness and then you add the element size of it, this is legit a Mack truck that you're standing in the ring with. So what my thing, without giving away too much, if it was to be Beastman, clearly my objective would be to play on that speed and play on that agility side and try to use those abilities as a strength for me. As for John Roden, the juggernaut John Roden, him and I have went back and forth in multiple companies, multiple states. I have nothing but respect for John Roden, just like I do Beastman. Each and every time that I was able to face John Roden, it has went to the limit, to the absolute limit, no matter what state, no matter what federation. And I think one thing that I appreciate about John Roden is I almost see an image of myself in him, that no matter what the obstacle is, no matter what the occasion is, he comes into it with the optimistic mindset and says, somehow, some way, I'm going to get the job done. You don't just get the moniker Juggernaut unless you are backing it up through your actions. You don't just say that. It has to bleed through you. So, you know, when I look at this two matches, I can't think of a better finals going into Area 2, such as Beastman versus Juggernaut. Now, in particular, who I would like to face, you know, as you could say, anyone. I'm not going to discriminate and say, I'd rather face this one, I'd rather face that one. I feel like they all have their equal challenges. But for me, I have a little bit of a competitive vendetta against the Juggernaut, John Roden. I believe on a couple of matches in other federations, he's got the hand on me. Other companies, I've got the hand on him. So I feel like we have been even. But every time that we fought each other, there has been some bit of bloodshed. And so I think going into this, you know, it's a matter of me just really eyeballing this match, seeing what the weaknesses are in both opponents, and then also visualizing myself while this match is going on and saying, okay, what can I do in this element? How can I remember this? How can I talk to my coach, Bubba? How can we put a game plan together? How can we work through this to make sure that I can do the best that I can whenever that opportunity arises to face whoever that winner is? So I feel like this is a very even tape. You don't look at the sizes, look at the hunger of both of these guys. Look at the hunger of Beastman, that is a veteran, that is, I believe, a Pittsburgh legend, if not now, in the future for the art of professional wrestling. But at the same time, look at the Juggernaut, John Roden, who is right now, he has arrived, but I still see that we have not reached his full potential. So very even matchup, and I believe I'm going to keep on this. Bubba and I are going to take some notes. I'm going to talk to my other teammates that are on my team and seeing what exactly we can do to formulate a proper game plan.
All right, thank you for that. RPW, let's get your thoughts. The Area 2 finals of Beastman versus John Roden. What are your thoughts?
Wow, this is going to be a main event on any show in any state. These two guys will leave it all in the ring. I will say this, I think John Roden will have the upper hand. He had a little bit more time to rest. The Beastman's going to be coming off of, he's coming off of a fresh win. But I think this is going to be a game for John Roden. He's got something to prove to the council. Dash, you passing down your finishing move, the skull splitter. He could hit that out of nowhere, and he could possibly, and I think potentially, take this match. I'm curious to see it. I'm excited. I'm definitely going to have to say I'm going with John Roden on this one. These two Mack trucks are going to run in to each other, and it's going to cause chaos in that ring. And I wouldn't be surprised if the ring's not enough to keep these guys together. I think the ring is going to implode. I think we're going to see bodies broken. This is going to be one for the ages.
I agree. I think it's absolutely going to be a physical fight. Stacy Hunter, I'd like to get your thoughts. Who do you think has the advantage, and who do you think is going to come out on top in this Area 2 finals?
This is a tough one because after, last week I would have pulled it off. But Beastman is just so unpredictable. You cannot plan for him. I don't want to not go with Roden just because he's yours, Dash, but I can't go with Roden after seeing and what happened with David Lawless. I have Beastman.
Okay. Bubba Brewer, your thoughts. John Roden versus Beastman, and take any bias you might have out of it. I don't want to hear, like I hear every week, I really hate to root for John Roden because I hate Dash.
Please let me talk, Johnny Carson. Please let me talk. Okay.
I take that as a compliment.
This match is going to be. No, I was just being funny because there's no way you could.
I'm waiting for you to talk.
You'd probably be Ed McMahon. But anyway,
can you get to your point?
I'm getting there. You can't rush excellence, Dash. So just hold up. So anyway, we have the two.
I'll let him get to you, Bubba.
Oh, I'm not. Okay, the Beastman, John Roden, the two powerful, most individuals in Fight Underground. They are the Godzilla and King Kong of Fight Underground. Nothing against the Rev, because the Rev is Ultraman in my eyes.
All respect, brother.
And all that. But yeah, Ultraman. Hey, Ultraman beats them both, man. I'm just telling you that right now, Dash. But everything has to, and I hate to say this, that I have to take based on being focused. And I believe John Roden is focused because he has a lot to prove. He's more focused than the Beastman. The Beastman is not focused on getting into the championship round. He doesn't care. He just
Bubba. I just want to stop you right there.
What?
Bubba, I just want to stop you right there.
Why?
No, I don't have a point to make. It's just whenever you're talking, I have to look at your ugly face, and I haven't been able to do anything about it until now. It's kind of nice.
Oh, well, thank you. Like I said, let me finish. Thank you. Because if I ever get to be host, I'm going to have to let you finish. So I'm actually not, and I don't think he's going to win with your finisher, Dash. He's going to win doing something else. So John Roden will beat the Beastman based on being focused. Even though he's with Dash, but he's still focused because he has something to prove. And then when the Rev gets into it with Roden, all chips are in with the Rev. All chips. I'm telling you that right now, Dash. And we'll talk. I'll be talking smack till the cows come home. So I'm done now, Dash. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad that you brought up focus, because I think that's the most important thing to remember here, is that John Roden has been laser focused from day one on the Rev. He knows that there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow and that Alpha King championship. But the leprechaun guarding that pot of gold is named the Rev Ron Hunt. So he knows that this is his opportunity not only to get to that championship, but to get to the Rev. So John Roden is going to be laser focused going into that match with Beastman. And it doesn't matter how he beats him. And I think he absolutely can and will beat him with the Skull Splitter, because we've trained endlessly on that maneuver. You saw in the match with Mike Law. He outsmarted Mike Law into getting himself in position for that move. Do you think it's going to be that hard to outsmart Beastman, to get Beastman in a position where he can hit that finisher? John Roden is 100% without question going to win the Area 2 tournament finals. And then he is coming for you, Rev. So Rev.
No, wait a second.
No. This is my show tonight. Rev, you better say your damn prayers, because you have a date with John Roden.
We don't care. Can I say that? We don't care. The Rev is focused, more focused than anybody in Fight Underground history. Okay, Dash? You can train Roden to do your finisher. It's not going to matter when he gets in a ring with the Rev, because the Rev is all that and more. And if I believe it, and everybody believes it when they see the Rev in the ring. So Dash, you can be the host of the show, and you can sit there and talk and pump up John Roden all you want. But you know what? Roden, but Roden's got to get through the Beastman before you start talking against the Rev. So take one match at a time, because then you're losing focus on time.
Here's the problem. Everyone agrees that John Roden's going to beat the Beastman.
Not everyone. Not everyone.
Stacey's opinion doesn't matter because she's wrong.
Okay, wait. I have a question for you, Dash.
Yes.
Quick question. So
Yes.
Just make sure you say it slow, Stacey.
So I know, slow and small words. If John Roden loses to the Beastman, are you gonna totally ignore him and quit responding to phone calls and messages like you did with Resnick, or is this going to be something different? Will history repeat itself?
Well, Stacey, I'm going to answer that question by saying, screw you. Screw Sean Resnick, that dirty piece of trash. You know what? You're both dirty pieces of trash. First, John Roden is not going to lose. And even if he did, I'm not going to ignore him. I'm not going to disown him. All right? So you can just stop.
Go fire him.
I'm not going to fire him. I'm not going to.
Or he'll quit.
So Bubba can be like, oh please, John Roden, come to my team. I'm Bubba Brewer, and I want anyone and everyone on Team Bubba. Go Team Bubba. No.
No. I need
Not
I need
gonna
a female worker and a good tag team. I got the Rev, and maybe I can tag somebody up with the Rev.
Well,
And
then maybe you
Jack
should have
Brain
been
and the
smarter
Rev.
with the draft.
Oh, I didn't have anybody quit on me.
How are those draft choices treating you right now, Bubba? You're
What do you mean?
One for one. You're 1 for 4 as
We
far
have
as
the
I'm
Rev on
concerned.
the show. Area 1 winner of Area 1 is the Rev. My team won. I mean, what more can I have to say? What do I have to say, Dash? What?
I wish you wouldn't say
Exactly.
anything, because again, I have to look at your ugly face every time you talk.
There's nothing ugly about it. Thank you.
We have to look at your ugly face this entire
Stace.
time.
Well, Stace, do we have any word on? Do you have
Yes.
contacted loss prevention?
No, I
you
have
doing?
not.
Stole my thunder, Bubba.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So let's talk about
Okay, I'm
Stacey.
He's
sorry.
like everybody
No, let's
else
talk
going
about
into
Loss
hiding.
You have loss prevention.
Loss prevention. If she
That's
doesn't
on
get a hold of
radio
you,
silent
come
on you. You have Tatiana Rose that doesn't have faith in you. You have Sean Rezick who lives in a dumpster like Oscar the Grouch. I mean, what do you have to offer as far as Team Stacey Hunter goes?
What? Oh my God.
Can't cut
Don't
your
worry about my team. Worry about your own. I'm not the one that had somebody quit on me. Okay? So just sit there, shut up, and focus on next week's match.
Yeah, we're going to focus on next week's match. Robert Parker Williams, please bring us back here. I'd like to get your final thoughts.
My final thoughts are again. I can't say this enough that I'm pumped for this. The finals, Area 2, John Roden, the Beast Man. It's going to be 2 Mack trucks crashing into each other, and the best man is going to prevail. I'm siding with you on this one, Dash, because I do believe that Roden has more to prove, and I think he's more focused than ever. Beastman, he's a hard animal to tame, and I don't think Boomer has it in him to keep him grounded. So I'm going to have to say John Roden. Rev, get ready. You're going to be in for the fight of your life, because this is a different John Roden.
Rev, I'll throw it to you. Let's get your final thoughts.
When it comes down to it, I could say the old cliche, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Personally, I do not care, respectfully, who wins. It could be Beastman. It could be John Roden. I expect nothing different than the absolute elite and the absolute best from both competitors, whoever wins. However, Mr. Humpty Dumpty, since this is your show, let me adjust you again. When it comes down to it, I'm a person that's focused. You tell me what the mission is, I try to get it done by any means necessary. I capitalize on people telling me I can't do something. So if it is John Roden, you tell him to get ready. He knows what I'm capable of doing. I've been doing it for so many years now, and I don't plan on slowing down at all. Robert Parker Williams, just as you stated, John Roden, we're seeing another side of him. We're seeing perhaps a hungrier side of him, a more stronger side of him, a more focused side of him, and I try to match that same exact way. I believe, Team Bubba, we do the best that we can to scout the way we can. We try to do the best we can to recruit the way we can. However, I feel like there is no better scouting than stepping in the ring and going toe-to-toe with someone, which fortunately I have been able to do with the juggernaut John Roden. Now this, if it is possible, will be the first time that John Roden and I go face-to-face in a fight underground ring. This is a totally separate scene. This is a totally separate energy, and I'm all about it. At the end of the day, it's in our name. We fist up and we throw down. It's not time for no fanciness. I believe at the end of the day, we all have a prize that we have to attain. We all have a family to feed. We all have a mission, and we all have a legacy to build. So, Dash, if that is your guy, you tell him to line up, roll up his sleeves, tighten up those boots extra tight, and be ready, because I'm not slowing down, and I'm bringing the Rev train all the way through Fight Underground. Beastman, if you're listening, the same exact thing goes for you.
Choo-choo. I like that.
All right, Bubba, let's get your final thoughts.
I'm going to make it real short and sweet. Whoever wins next week better be more focused and I don't care after that. So whoever wins, it's probably going to be John Roden based on being. I don't care, because after that he is going to have to face the Rev, and I'm in my war room, and the Rev. If I got something to say, I throw out the bat signal. He gets back to me in time. Okay, so we are focused. Okay, I am more focused. It's 2021 Dash, and anything I can do to beat you, I will damn near do it. Thank you. Good night.
All right. And I've just received word that the poll from this evening has been closed, and overwhelmingly, the fans of Fight Underground believe that John Roden will be the winner of Area 2 and not Beastman. So, Stacy, you're wrong yet again. Your final thoughts.
Yeah, how much did you pay the people to vote for Roden? Because that's the only way that one happened.
I don't have to.
My final thoughts. I would like to see John Roden win, only because I would like to see him versus the Rev. I think that's going to be a hell of a match, and I think the fans would really enjoy that. And going back to my team for a second, my team members may not all love me at the moment, but I have nothing but love for all of my team. And come Area 3, it's going to be all about Team Hunter.
All right. Very quickly, we do have a couple of breaking news items. Number one, we did receive word on loss prevention that he is currently rehabbing and will be ready to go for Area 3. So, Stacy, I find it very convenient that you weren't able to get that information, but our news sources were. But second
Maybe
of all,
I just didn't want to tell you.
Well, this is a little more interesting. There are reports coming in of a trade going on in Fight Underground. I'm going to look to the council members on this meeting, because I'm not really aware of anything as far as a trade. Stacy, Bubba, RPW, do you have anything you'd like to share? Anything maybe coming from your camps regarding a trade?
Nothing from my camp. Maybe it's Justin trading for Justin again. I don't know.
Justin already has Justin.
I'm always open to a potential trade. I do have some people that I might have some wiggle room with, but it's not coming from me. I haven't been approached by anybody.
I wouldn't tell you if it was me or not. So.
Well, I'm wondering if since you can't get a hold of loss prevention, if maybe something's going on there. Are you giving up on your first round draft pick and trying to trade him off to someone else?
Oh,
trying to cut
I
bait while he's
haven't
injured.
to him in 2 weeks. I don't have to talk to them every day. Some of us
Stacey,
do have lives. I know that's hard for you to understand.
I will say, Dash, that I will add, I'm looking into adding some people to Team Bubba. So any worker out there, female, tag team, male, who got what it takes, come to the side of Team Bubba. The Rev will tell you. So I'm always looking, Dash. Just not looking at your technical woods.
I knew better than to ask Bubba, because he doesn't have anything to offer as far as a trade goes. But Stacy, I think absolutely. I wouldn't put it past you to turn your back on loss prevention while he's injured, while he's down, and try to get rid of him. Because that's the kind of person you are.
I am not. I am not that mean of a person.
You're a slithery snake in the grass, and you know it.
Ooh.
And hey, it takes one to know. I'm not throwing shade. I'm just stating facts.
So you're a snake. I knew you were a snake, Dash.
Yeah, Stevie Wonder could see that, Dash.
I do what I have to get the job done. I have no shame in that.
Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat, never get caught.
So that's interesting.
What would be really cool, Dash?
What's that?
Sorry. You know what would be really cool? Say John Roden did win, okay, Area 2, okay, and then he quits on you. That would be awesome.
No, that's not.
Oh my God!
Goes to with Puck.
Why? It already has.
Why me?
Actually, rumor has it that Boomer Payne is the leader involved in a trade. So I think that's very interesting. Running down the team that Boomer has. I know he has Beastman on his team. He has Scarlet. He has Troy Lords. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head who else is aligned with Team Boomer, but that's something that's very interesting.
It does make for some interesting discussions.
We haven't seen Boomer in a while, so he's probably been behind the scenes.
I think one thing that kind of makes it a little bit sorry about that. I think one thing that kind of makes it a little bit interesting, if those rumors are true, you have to look at, even just the amount of distance that that Boomer Payne has in regards of a lot of us that are a little bit closer to each other. I think he has a little bit of extra leverage just from being states away to be able to see perhaps some talent, some names that we might not even have heard of just based on where our distance is. So if that is true, I think right now he has a strong team, but it could possibly get more interesting, if that is the case and Boomer Payne's involved in that.
No, that's a great point. He has connections to a lot of talent down there in North Carolina. He could be offering someone who we haven't even seen in Fight Underground to another council member trying to get someone from that's already on the established roster. So that's an interesting point. Bubba Boomer is friends with. We won't name names, but he's friends with someone that So I wonder if maybe they're working together and trying to do some trades behind your back.
Well, he can't look. He can trade himself, and I know who you're talking about. And I know I'm not going to feed into it because it's been a crazy week for me since Sunday night. So I'm not going to dwell upon that. The opportunity was open for Mr. Dylan Dean. And he had a Rolodex that I was going to use to my benefit, and Rev can attest to that. He knows all them. I said his name. I'm not bashful. Okay, it just didn't. If I say it 2 more times, he'll reappear. But look, I'm not familiar with a lot of Pittsburgh workers and stuff from the old time because I was doing stuff up in the Great White North. I was making a name up here, so I took a chance. It bit me in the ass. But you know what? I'm moving on because, look, I have the Rev Area 1 winner. You know what I mean? I got Zach Rain and I got Lucio DeVere, and I'm always looking, Dash. So maybe I can take somebody from your team, maybe. I'm saying that Roden wins and then drops you like a hot potato.
Well, I've said from day one.
That's what I would do.
I've said from day one that no one on my team is up for grabs as far as a trade, because that means I don't have confidence in my team, and that's something that I absolutely do. So I'd rather have someone quit on me like that piece of garbage Oscar the Grouch wannabe Sean Resnick.
What about if your whole team doesn't have faith in you?
Watch your mouth.
Yeah, don't be messing with the Muppets.
I'm just saying it takes trash to know trash, and as far as I'm concerned, the 2 of you are trash, Stacey.
Ouch.
Doesn't
he make you mad, Stace? Makes you mad, doesn't
it? By the way, Stacey, you still haven't answered my challenge for
what?
So let's forget Tatiana Rose and what she's going to do at Area 3. We're still overlooking the fact that I made a challenge to you weeks ago that has gone unanswered. So we'll maybe I forget what the challenge was,
but if it involves me kicking you in the balls, I am all for it.
What balls?
Well, maybe I'll kick you in the balls, Stacey.
Oh, you jealous because mine are bigger than yours?
That's probably true.
Yours hang lower.
Oh,
mine are a little up higher.
Dash, how did you get to be the host of the show this week? That's what I want to know. How and why?
I think my record speaks for itself, and I think I've done a damn good job. And I'm sure the ratings that come out after the show will agree to that.
AKA, he paid them to get on.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, if you have an issue, you take it up with Paul Atlas. And I don't think any of you have the guts to do that.
I pray to God you don't have to be the host again next week, because good Lord, we can't do this again.
Well, rumor has it that Paul Atlas will be returning next week, so you don't have to worry about that. But
thank God.
Thank you, Lord.
If Fight Underground or any other promotion is in need of a host, I think I've shown that I'm more than capable.
Oh, come on. There's no
You know
way.
what? I would just say one thing. I would say one thing about that, Dash. I will give you one thing. I don't quite know about ratings, but prices and sales have absolutely went up with you being the host this week. So I want to commend you for that. You know, when kind of looking at the stocks and how everything is, the price on Pepto-Bismol has definitely went up because I had to chug a bottle by myself just when I knew I was invited to this show and you were hosting it. So thank you, and you can thank Pepto for that extra check too.
The joke's on you because I hold shares. All right.
I believe that.
All right. I think we're getting off the rails now. We need to reel it back in. So we've had a chance to talk about the week that was and the week that will be. We've gotten everyone's thoughts, and everyone agrees unanimously except for Stacy because she's wrong that John Roden will be the winner of Area 2.
I really
But
cannot
next
stand
week,
you.
well, that's too bad. You're going to get muted now. Next week, we will be seeing the
That's
Area
why.
2
That's why I'm
finals.
afraid of this too.
Bubba, you're muted too. Next week, we will see the Area 2 finals. On Monday, we will see the showdown. John Roden and Beastman going one-on-one with a verbal sparring. On Tuesday night, we will see Fight Night, where they get in the ring and one of them will come out victorious as the winner of Area 2. And Wednesday, we will have the aftermath, where we get both of their thoughts coming out of the match. And then next Thursday, we'll be back once again for the Fight Council meeting. I'd like to thank my fellow Fight Council members, even Stacy, even Bubba, and I'd like to thank our guest, the Rev Ron Hunt. I've been Dash Bennett, and it's been your pleasure, and we are out of time. Fists up, throw down, and F you, Stacy and Bubba.